Alright guys, welcome back to another Complexity Casting presentation. I'm your casting host, Beef. Joining me is nobody, because this is HoN Tour, and I am still trying to find my permanent co-caster for HoN Tour so that we can get all that spectator stuff set up and approved by S2, and then I don't have to solo cast anymore, and that would be awesome. But I just got a lead on somebody new. So guys, we might have a co-caster by this weekend, maybe even before that. And wouldn't that be something? I know I'm excited for it, and you guys should be too, because I want to be casting as much HoN as we can cast. Starting right here, Gold League HoN Tour Cycle 1 Losers Bracket Semifinals Game 3 between Team Please and Call It Karma. This one goes down for all the marbles. The winner advances into the Diamond Division. The loser stays gold once again, leaving with a smaller prize, of course, and having to try to qualify for that oh-so-important Diamond Division once again. Guys, we've already got the game started here with the banning phase. Parasite and Ophelia are coming out. Wild Soul as well as Keeper of the Forest being blind banned. Of course, 4 jungling heroes right there. Both Wild Soul and Keeper of the Forest being banned, so neither team wants the suicides going in there. And Parasite and Ophelia, the 2 very offensive ganking type junglers, going to be banned out once again as well. Here for the lock-picking phase, though, we're going to be going into it with first lock is going to be Bubbles, followed up by Call It Karma, choosing to take out Plague Rider and Hag. So 3 suicides so far. Rounding it out with Tempest, Soul Reaper, and Pebbles. So Pebbles makes it in for the first time. He's been banned out in the second banning phase, both of these other games, but we'll see if he makes it into the actual picking phase or not. So Soul Reaper, we saw in that last game, was very, very effective. No Keeper of the Forest this time, so we'll see if he in fact is going to be picked up or not. And Tempest, once again, will we see him for the 3rd game in a row? I don't know just yet, but we'll have to see. Only time will tell. But of course, an extremely strong jungling, pushing, ganking, game-changing hero. One of the most sought after for sure, and without Keeper of the Forest in the picking available pool, that's one of his counters gone, so that empowers Tempest for sure. Banning phase coming out now. Doc Rose for Team Please is going to be banning Draconis, Dark Lady, and Nymphora, so takes out 2 of the hard carries, as well as Nymphora, of course, with her global presence and her great stun sustainability with that Grace of the Nymph and the Volatile Pod for healing. Just a fantastic hero in general, and one that a lot of teams don't like to play against. I don't think she's actually been banned or picked up in the last 2 games. I know she hasn't been picked up. I think one of the games she was banned and one of the games she wasn't, though. So interesting to see that we haven't had her in this game. Now, on the other side, looks like Jellyfish for Call It Karma is banning Fade, Tundra, as well as Silhouette. So very, very interesting bans there. Another carry going to be taken out of the pool in terms of that Silhouette. And then Fade and Tundra, 2 heroes that play a similar role. Of course, they are those mid-type heroes with their great ganking ability, their map control presence, with the clear vision afforded to them by the bird and by that reflection ability, the ultimate from Fade, giving her clear vision around and able to traverse through trees and set up those fantastic ganks, similar to Tundra can, clearing down everything with the piercing shards, then dropping the avalanche, bringing the mountains down on somebody's head and saying, "You stay there, I'm going to beat you up." But already, guys, first pick comes out for Team Please, and it is going to be Tremble. The Bug makes his way out for the first time so far. Both other games, Tremble was blind banned. And this time, Team Please is going to be able to pick him up. So we shall see what kind of effect that hero has. Of course, you can put him in a solo short lane role, solo mid. I've seen him in Suicide a couple of times against some heroes that aren't really going to match up too well against him. But most of the time you'll see him in that solo short role or maybe solo mid in a safe solo mid situation. But he does, of course, farm very well. He's got incredible map presence with those terror mounds all over the place. Yeah, he's just a fantastic carry type hero, able to just right click on towards the other base and Awesome, awesome hero. I'm interested to see who's going to be playing him over here for Team Please. Of course, we have some players like Keizu, like Zai, that are known for their Tremble play. Of course, for Team Vote, as well as TDM. And so, we'll see if we have to add another Tremble name to the list of players that play a stupidly good Tremble. Over for the other side, though, Call It Karma, starting theirs off with a couple of Int heroes. We are, in fact, going to have the Aluna being first picked, as well as Demented Shaman going to join her for the first part of the draft for Call It Karma. So Aluna, we talk about her versatility, how she can really fit into a bunch of positions. She can play that support type role if she needs to, but she also can play a semi-carry role if they get kind of screwed over in the lockpick. So they also have that Demented Shaman that can play a solo type role and be more of a team fighting, pushing hero, or he can play that hard support role too as well. And I like seeing Demented Shaman. The bird is available that we see so often paired up with the Demented Shaman. We'll see if Call It Karma does in fact pick up Zephyr. Also available is in fact Balfagor. So either of Demented Shaman's two best friends are still available, and we'll see if they make it into the picks here. That would of course be a very strong pushing team, but no! Moon Queen actually going to round it out there for Call It Karma. So we'll talk about that one in a minute. The second and third picks here for Team Please are going to be Glacius and Warbeast. Warbeast was blind banned once and standard banned in the first game. So going to be making it out this time as Team Please is getting a few of their heroes that I believe were respect banned in a couple of these first games. But interesting. Warbeast, of course, one of the more effective junglers, able to get that big farm and then just knock down towers, even with a decent amount of ganking presence there around level 6, and takes it into the late game with great farm. He can be a force to be reckoned with. On the other side, though, Moon Queen comes out. Once again, players like Keizu, players like, who's the other guy that's been playing him a lot? He was playing for Orange Esports. Oh, man. Well, the carry player for Orange Esports, I can't remember his name right now, but he plays Moon Queen quite a bit, and she's a hero that we've been seeing quite often. So Moon Queen going to make her way in. I know that Nox also plays him, so a hero that got buffed quite a bit recently, taking a buff to that Moonbeam as well as to her glaives, the bouncing glaives, and able to do a lot more damage with those with a reduced cooldown, longer stun. But we have actually already finished it up. So let's go through the lockpick real quick here. If we scroll down, up, wherever we need to go. Pebbles, first out of the lock here for Team Please. Countered up on the other side, though, by Tempest and Wretched Hag. So that's going to be a nice way to round it out for Call It Karma. And the last pick is going to be Plague Rider. So I like that. Interesting skin here on Trembles. I've never seen that one before, so I'm interested to see the rest of it when he does turn around. Plague Rider going to be going into the Suicide, so ZOZO Osos makes his way up into that location. Pebbles and Glacius going to be teaming up here mid. Now this is a lane that whenever I talk about this lane with Brized, he always brings up that it's a very defensive lane. It's hard to kill these heroes unless the Glacius gets insanely out of position. It's pretty difficult to kill them with the Ice Imprisonment, the Thunder Blast, the Chuck, throw the melee hero back, as well as the Stalagmites for the hard stun. It's pretty hard to kill them. They're going to be matched up on the other team, though, with Moon Queen and Aluna. Now, this is another lane that I've talked about with a couple of players before, but I don't know that I've ever actually seen it in a competitive game. The ability for these two heroes to harass is... it's pretty crazy. Now, if you talked about maybe a Nymphora being paired up with a Moon Queen as well, being able to issue mana onto that Moon Queen just as fast as she can use it up, that's a lot of harassment coming out too. But the power throw and the 800 range of this Moonbeam, very, very strong. So we'll see how much damage they're going to be able to put out onto this Pebbles, onto this Glacius. And of course, Pebbles has very low armor to start out with. 0.3, and with the auto attacks coming out from Aluna, he's going to be taking a lot of pressure and no shield. So expect Pebbles to take a ton of pressure here in this middle lane. Looks like there are AFK players over here for Please team. interesting. Tremble is a hero that you actually want to see running out, setting up his Tremble mounds. Yeah, they're going to ask for a remake. So that's going to be rather unfortunate to have to get that remake done. But yeah, Tremble is a hero that with those mounds, kind of have to wake up in 4 hours. He needs to be out there placing those mounds around and getting the mobility that he needs up on the map. So he needs the entire minute and a half or whatever you have before this game. So the remake's going to be denied here by Call It Karma, and that's going to be really unfortunate for Formless, the QSQ player playing for Team Police, as he's not going to have the mount set up in the base, or he's not going to have mount set up here until much, much later, and he's going to be down on some mana. But we'll see if... Are they going to reschedule this? They're actually talking about that. So, guys, I'm actually going to kick this to the score screen real quick while they try to figure this out. We'll be right back before we know... Well, never mind. Screw that. We're going into the game. GLHF, let's get it on. Tremble is going to be going up against the Wretched Hag down here. So that is going to be what he does. He has to buy a TP scroll. That is so unfortunate. The Homecoming Stone has to be used and wants to get over there before he loses out on too much experience. Already one creep has been denied by the Tempest and another one denied by the Wretched Hag. So losing out on some, of course, already. Going up against the Wretched Hag in a normal situation, I would say that Tremble has a pretty significant advantage. But in the situation that he finds himself, down 135 gold and not having the cooldown active for his Terra Mound right away, he's going to be down on mana. When he does place that, it's going to be a little bit unfortunate. And so Hag's going to certainly have a lot better of a time down here than she would otherwise. In the top lane, we actually do have Dreadfruit, who was playing Magnus in the first game. He's going to be playing his Managed Shaman this time, going up against the solo Plague Rider. And already it looks like he's doing decently well. Of course, Plague not able to defend himself very effectively at level 1 with that Extinguish. Does have a couple denies, but really not much else. 1 and 3 in terms of CS. But Demented Shaman doing a fantastic job already with the Ring of the Teacher active. Going to be putting a little bit of pressure into the towers here. So SOZO has got his work cut out for him in this lane. He's trying to get up there and drop the Contagion nuke, which he does, but he takes an auto attack for his troubles. Here in the middle lane, you can see Pebbles actually pushed way, way far back, already consuming 2 of his Runes of the Blight. Moon Queen doing an effective job of getting his harass done. Aluna going to drop a ward as he picks up a double damage, and that double damage is going to be annoying to Pebbles here in the middle lane, as he's going to take a ton of damage. Actually, the Moonbeam coming out right there, and look at that. 2 auto attacks and a Moonbeam, and Pebbles just lost 60% of his life. More auto attacks coming in. The Ice Imprisonment going to turn around onto Aluna, though, as she takes a little bit of pressure. Power Throw level 1 is being charged up. Wants to knock off this potion. Pebbles is out of regen at this point. So, man, oh man. Actually, Luna's going to be in some trouble right there as the Chuck comes in to finish him off. A nice Stalagmites with the Thunder Blast. And so Luna looked to be in a very good start in the middle lane, but just got a little bit out of position and unfortunately did have to, well, gonna have to take a trip back to the base because she's dead. Tremble grabs the Runes of the Blight from his buddy on the War Beast. Doc Rose is going to be coming over and dropping those off because Tremble, well, he needs the regen. He doesn't have the mana. He doesn't have the cooldowns to be spamming the Terror Mounds that he needs to have all over the place down here. And so he needs additional regen, which he was delivered. So should be able to sustain him long enough. But once again, it's just really unfortunate that he was AFK in the beginning, but no fault of anyone but his own self. Middle lane, Moon Queen's trying to get work done, and she's 280 GPM. She lost her support, who is at 50 GPM right now. Of course, Carlsberg's is having a little bit of a rough time there. Moon Queen's doing well. 280 GPM for the Pebbles as well. 10-0 as opposed to 20-7. So you can certainly say that they're getting it from getting their farm from a little bit different locations. So Luna grabs the bottle that is Moon Queen's and is able to bottle up a regen rune. So that one will be very, very nice. Alme keeps the harass going onto the pebbles, and with that regen rune, of course, we'll be able to spam quite a few moonbeams. In the top lane, Demented Shaman continuing to put pressure on this tower as he has actually sent ZOZO Osos back to home. Actually, War Initiation coming out here mid as Alme's in some trouble. The regen rune being activated though, but with the Glacial Blast there from Tempest, Banana for the win is going to bring the kill home. Nice job. Getting the kill onto Pebbles to equalize his hero kill score is very important. Denying farm to that initiating type hero is the best thing that you could do in this game, even more so than the carry in the early game. The initiator probably more important, at least that's what a lot of people say, and I'm inclined to agree with them. So a nice job from rotating there from Tempest, able to get some work done in the middle lane as he's getting work done in the jungle as well. War Initiation going to happen there mid as Alme is going to take a fall now. Pebbles came in and looks like he just got the combo down, as well as the Thunder Blast Ice Imprisonment from Glacius. So they pick up another kill in the middle lane, and that's where the action appears to be. Sorry about that one, guys, for missing that. Tremble now with the life tube that he has, and Terramounts in the correct positions is in superior position as opposed to this Hag, but Hag has already gotten some decent levels. Level 6 and has picked up enough to finish up her Steam Boots. So that's going to be nice for her. Top lane, Plague Rider in some trouble as he falls to Banana for the win, as well as Dreadfruit teaming up. And it looks like the Tempest now in position to make a kill happen on the tower, as this one should be falling relatively soon. Elemental Replicates have already split, and with the Ballista behind it, this tower will go down for certain. They might even try to take 2 with that Ballista and a decent-sized creep wave here. Another heal bomb. Yeah, they're going to be able to take 2. I don't know if there's going to be enough rotation coming in to prevent them from taking that second tower. In fact, there's almost nothing that Team Police can really do to stop them from taking the second tier tower. Now, if they rotate 3 or 4 players, maybe, but there's no 2 players that can really stop this from happening. The Plague Rider simply has no anti-push, especially at level 5. The Glacius is going to come on there, but unfortunately his Thunder Blast is only level 2, so that's not going to do a huge amount either. And looks like they're going to be able to continue the pressure on this tower. Now, unfortunately, the Ballista did go down, not quite able to keep that one alive and improve their push. Glacius is going to come in for a flank over here and try to make something happen as the Contagion Nuke has already been applied. But Glacius, what is he doing? The ultimate actually going to go out onto Demented Shaman right there, and a nice bounce catches that one, and down he goes. Tempest is going to have to back off. So there you go. Actually, level 6 Plague Rider got a very nice bounce. I didn't think that one was going to bounce with the Plague Carrier ultimate, and he gets it. So down goes Demented Shaman, and that's a kill that they certainly needed. Demented Shaman was looking very, very big up there. He's still at 240 GPM, so he was probably closer to 270, 280 at that point. They defend the tower, get the kill, and ZOZO Osos is back in the game with his level 4 Contagion Nuke. Going to continue to farm this lane up a bit, work towards some of his starting items, maybe like an Astrolabe, or just finish his boots up relatively soon. Oh, Moon Queen activates the ultimate right there, and on the high ground, they're in some trouble. A beautiful Emerald Lightning and a double tap with one glaive. Alme, that was beautifully, beautifully set up, and of course, the Emerald Lightning there from Kahlberg's was very important to secure that one as well. But hey, you even saw that they knew he was up there because of this Ward of Sight, and they tried to get him, but they simply couldn't get the angle right. They weren't able to get that kill, and they ended up paying with it for both their lives. So Jokti now with 2 deaths here on Please Team's Initiator, and looking kind of rough. Another kill going to be going on over here as Banana for the win actually gets the kill onto Plague Rider. Didn't even need to use the Elemental Void, so it's a bit interesting that he was able to get that one. Oh, Demented Shaman's going to be in some trouble. The Moonbeam going to come out, so he's not able to get the correct combo there, but with Warbeast, the ultimate form activated, the Metamorphosis gives him the speed that he needs, and he's able to clean that one up. Doc Rose picks the kill up on the War Beast, propelling his farm up to 240 GPM, which is a little bit lower than you might expect. Possibly got some bad creep spawns. If you get too many Minotaurs that can't man champions, it can be very, very difficult to jungle on that War Beast, as he also gave up some of his regen to that Tremble, so that could have set him back perhaps a little bit more, but didn't pay too much attention to that War Beast in the jungle there. Wretched Hag going to go ahead and head back to town. Out of mana and relatively low on life with no regen. Tremble doing a good job down here, making a recovery. Able to finish up that Helm of the Black Legion at 9 minutes in. Well, a little bit faster than 9 minutes in, as that was delivered a little while ago. But looking good. So he's going to be able to use that in conjunction with his boots to assert control of this bottom lane. It's going to require quite a few people to bring him down, especially when he finishes up his steam boots relatively soon here. He's going to be getting pretty damned tanky. Call Karma, of course, did push the middle lane after getting the double tap onto a couple heroes there. And now they're going to try to turn it around. Moon Queen in a little bit of trouble as the combo comes in. Metamorphosis activated by War Beast, and he needs one more auto attack. Will he be able to get it? Emerald Lightning goes out, and bounce, actually a nice bounce there onto Moon Queen, consuming that bottle, but not quite in time. Luna is trying to get out of there, activates the potion at the perfect time, and will be able to survive, but dropping another kill onto Alme. Nice job. Tremble actually diving deep there onto the jellyfish. Gets the kill onto Wretched Hag with the assistance of Boris. Probably used that route well on behind enemy lines and just able to walk her down. Of course, level 4 Impalers with a fantastic slow associated with them. And Tremble gets that kill. He's going to have enough to finish up his steam boots. Now as he heads over to the shop, that's what I would expect. Drops it and goes with Ghost Marchers actually. So, alright. Goes with those, a little bit less life, trading out the movement speed and the increased attack damage for the ability to swap those steam boots around, and of course the attack speed associated with them. Wretched Hag TP's back down. She has finished up that Grave Locket, so gonna have a few more stats, but obviously wasn't enough to save her from the Tremble last time. Hasn't quite gotten that one charged or even more stats just yet. Tremble just hiding inside of that Terror Mound, saying, hey, come get me. Knows that if Hag walks in there, she's going to lose quite a bit of life trying to put out some auto attack harassment. And with another player coming in now, Aluna has made her way down, who's finished Steam Boots actually. Carlsberg 0, 1, and 3, 172 GPM. How does he finish Steam Boots already? I guess they have gotten 2 towers. They got the mid and they got the top tower already. So yeah, that's a significant amount of gold. That makes more sense now. But nice job for Aluna. Lucky her, being able to finish those ones up. Boris makes his way over toward the bottom rune, where he will find an illusion. Tremble going to not port just yet. Boris will camp that until somebody else chooses to come pick it up, or he will deny it himself. We'll see if that is in fact what's going to happen. Aluna makes his way over, and will Boris go for the deny? He does not actually get it. So Boris might even lose his life now as the power throw comes out, and there's going to be the nice bounty. I believe that's 75 gold for Aluna. So a little bit of a misplay there from Formless, not only not getting the illusion with his minion, but then losing it. Not the hugest of deals, though. War Beast finishes up his Steam Boots in addition to his Abyssal Skull, so he's got the farming items that he needs. Now he's just going to be looking for levels and some of those larger items, like, say, a Shrunken Head, possibly a Soul's Bulwarker, maybe even a Puzzle Box. We'll see what he chooses to go for. Aluna Illusions. It's kind of funny to say. Aluna Illusions are making their way through the jungle, looking for something happening. Moon Queen is in some trouble. The Moon Finale actually activated there. Tempest comes in with a big ultimate. The Bat Blast going to hit 2 players. Formless on the Tremble is in a little bit of trouble as the Stalagmites come in. The Glacial Blast are being applied as well. Glacius takes a Moonbeam, but down goes Tempest. The Stalagmites were enough for a combo. Actually, Tremble is going to fall there. He does die to Wretched Hag, and War Beast comes in. He's going to be able to clean up the Moon Queen. So a nice job. A little bit of an even exchange there. Glacius is going to fall to Carlsberg on the Aluna, and a nice blink out of there from Wretched Hag. She's able to dodge the Stalagmites, which could very well have spelled her own doom. So if we take a look at that one, that was a 3-for-3 exchange, if I Yeah, I believe that was a 3-for-3 exchange. So nobody really getting too much of the better end of that one. But after it's all said and done, Karma finds themselves in about a 3,000 gold advantage. Wretched Hag, who was having a little bit of a rough time a couple of minutes ago in the bottom lane, being being forced out of the lane, now finishes up her first Arcana. She's going to be working toward a Hellflower, a very useful item to have against someone like this Pebbles, against the War Beast, and of course against the Tremble, who's working toward a Shrunken Head. So if he's able to get that Shrunken Head, then the Hellflower will be very useful to actually nullify that, hopefully burst him down. He's a pretty tanky dude, but with that Hellfire effect on him, might be able to burst him down in time. Plague Rider in some trouble up here. Glacial Blasts have already been applied, standing inside of the Meteor. He's going to fall. Elemental Minions combining or contributing to that kill. And Queen makes her way up to assist with that one, and they're going to turn their attention toward this top lane tower, which is only at about 270 life at this point. Should die very, very quickly. Might even be able to put a little bit of pressure on the base tower, but they're going to choose to back up. In fact, they're going to TP toward bottom. Treble's going to be taking Glacial Blast. One more stun going to come out. He's trying to TP on out of there, but an Emerald Lightning onto Boris actually bounces back. It's a nice stun. They're going to get the deny onto that one, and Glacius is going to fall as well. One more auto attack is all that it takes. The Metamorphosis being activated amidst Stalagmites. Chuck the Plague Rider right in the middle, but he's in some trouble now. The Emerald Lightning going to stun Pebbles. A hat trick already coming out for Wretched Hag. Will she be able to make it a quad kill with the kill onto Pebbles? No, not quite. Looks like Banana for the win is actually going to take that one home. And all of a sudden, Call It Karma extends their experience lead from what was 100 a couple of minutes ago all the way up to 4,000 with a fantastic team fight. They got 4 for nothing and had to force Warbeast back. He was not off farming, but very, very low on HP. And as well as a 7,000 gold lead now. Going to make that about 8, maybe 9,000 if they take this tower down. But TP's going to be coming in. Glacius applies the Thunder Blast onto a couple players, but it looks like the Hellborn team says, screw that. Glacial Downpour is canceled by the Emerald Lightning. Down goes Glacius. Tremble may be in some trouble as well, but he's actually going to get on out of there. 9,200 gold lead now for the Call It Karma team. They're looking fantastic going into 16 minutes into this game. For team plays, I mean, their team composition was such that they needed to get really good farm on this Pebbles. They needed to be able to get him nice and big in the early game, and he needed to be able to provide the map presence that they need for the Warbeast to get nice and farmed, the Tremble to get nice and farmed. But unfortunately, this Pebbles just got shut down there in the middle lane. 246 GPM, not abysmal by any means, but certainly not what they needed in order to make it work. More big items being picked up there by the Hellborn team. We'll talk about that in just a second. But this Pebbles, he needs to finish up that portal key ASAP. He needs to hit level 11 and start getting pickoffs on some of these squishy heroes before they start getting really big. Moon Queen, still a very easy pickoff once he gets that level 11 and portal key. Tempest, now up to 1,300 life. Not nearly as easy with those Steam Boots and the Mighty Blade. But Demented Shaman, maybe an easy kill. And of course, Aluna, squishy all day long, easy for Pebbles to pick off. So once he gets that portal key, it's going to be much, much easier for him to assert that map dominance. But when he does get that portal key, he's still not able to get kills. They're still not able to equalize things a little bit. Then this Call It Karma, the Please team could be in a lot more trouble. Items that were picked up, I was talking about some of those. Second Arcana being picked up for Wretched Hag. She's about 1,000 gold away from finishing that Hellflower. So 20-minute Hellflower going to be very nice for that Wretched Hag, who does find herself at 350 gold per minute. In fact, Tempest at 423 gold per minute right now. He's the top in the game by a significant margin. Down here, Tremble's in some trouble. Hasted Wretched Hag makes her way down with the Sonar Scream being activated, as well as the Haunt. The Bat Blast even going to come up, as well as the Power Throw, and down goes Tremble. 1, 3, and 2 is now the score for Formless. So, forgetting to let his team know that he was going AFK, not the only mistake that he's made so far, getting caught out of position once again. Now the Hellborn team maybe turning their attention toward the bottom lane, maybe to push on some more towers. We'll see. Wretched Hag, 1,200 gold, 300 away from finishing up that Hellflower. and that is going to be absolutely stupidly good in this early team fighting phase. Tempest, of course, with the Mighty Blade, working on his shrunken head and the portal key, so we saw that used as he landed a big elemental void in that last team fight. Luna, of course, with her steam boots. Demented Shaman picks up an Astrolabe to complement his mid-game items, the steam boots, power supply, Ring of the Teacher, and Mystic Vestments. So nice for him. And Moon Queen, of course, gets her Whispering Helm. Been using that to get some stacks going, I'm sure. And with that, a Quick Blade as well. So making her way toward a Firebrand that will be very useful to turn into a Geometer's Bane at some point later on. For the other team, the Signs of Life here from Team Please. Warbeast does have that Warhammer, so he's going to be making his way towards a Shrunken Head most likely, unless he goes for a Shieldbreaker, which would be a very interesting pickup for sure. Plague Rider sitting on Plated Greaves Glacius, sitting on literally nothing. 96 GPM with the power supply and a couple of minor totems, just trying to get the warding done. Doesn't even have boots, though, and that's really unfortunate. Glacius has had good kill involvement, but without being able to push down a significant amount of towers, they've gotten one here in the bottom lane. Team Please finds himself pretty far behind in terms of gold. Pebbles has hit level 10 now, almost level 11. There he is. And with that level 11 and Portal Key, this is where he needs to be getting a couple of pickoffs. With that level 11, of course, it increases the damage slightly on his auto attacks as well as that combo. And maybe he'll be able to make something happen. Maybe right here in the middle lane. Actually, Pebbles is down there bottling up a regen rune. So if he turns his attention toward that middle lane, could very easily get a pick off. And we'll be watching this Pebbles closely. Of course, combo kills do happen so quickly, you don't want to miss them. But it can be very hard sometimes when there's a lot of posturing and defensive play like there is down here from the Hellborn team. Carlsberg on the Aluna trying to get a little bit of counter warding done. Demented Shaman also trying to counter this mound, but it of course regens right back up within seconds of being stopped. Attack, the combo comes out right there on the Demented Shaman, as well as the root coming in from Tremble, but the Astrolabe being activated. Metamorphosis comes in, and Demented Shaman is going to go down. The red Emerald Lightning is being applied onto the Warbeast, as well as the Glacial Blast. The Meteor going to be dropping as well. Will Tempest use the ultimate? Not using the ultimate just yet. Warbeast is going to need a deny, though, and a nice deny comes out from Treble. The Moon Finale being activated, but Pebbles gets into the woods. The power throw goes off and tries to get the TP, but a nice Emerald Lightning is going to interrupt that one. And so in the end, it looks like it's a 1-for-3 exchange in favor of Call It Karma. They are able to bring that one home with a kill on Warbeast, Pebbles, two very important players, and Glacius. So nice job there. They only lost Demented Shaman for it, who of course is it sucks to lose that player, but well worth it to trade for three others, including 2 out of the 3 carry type heroes here for the Legion team. Hellflower being applied onto Kongor as they want to do a little bit increased damage for those 4 seconds, as the elementals are in there as well, adding their fire. With Demented Shaman getting in there, the healing wave will be very effective, and down goes the monkey. Token of Life now being applied to Moon Queen, as she's going to be able to start working on triple or double stacked Ancients and making her way toward that Geometer's Bane, or whatever in fact she chooses to go with. Would not surprise me to see her leave that as a Firebreak for now and then go for a Shrunken Head before finishing off that Geometer's Bane. That's what you'll see sometimes. Shrunken Head has actually been picked up here by Tremble, so this is what we talked about. A useful item to have in response to this is the Hellflower, which has already been up for quite some time now on Wretched Hag, who's sitting at 600 gold. Interesting to see what she goes for next, whether she picks up a Shrunken Head herself to complement the one that they just picked up on Tempest, who does still have his ultimate. So been holding on to that one in the last couple of team fights. Now that he has that ultimate, might very well be able to use that one and get a nice big Elemental Void off in the next team fight. I believe, I don't know for sure though, Boris, the minion from Tremble, I don't know if he actually interrupts Tempest Elemental Void or not. So I'm not quite sure about that one, guys. If anybody wants to check that and let me know at some point, that would be great. But I'm not quite sure about that one. I think that it does. I think there's a mini stun associated with that, just like the Skeleton King, because I think they're the same spell. but I'm honestly not sure. So if that is in fact the same spell, then that would be very nice to have Tremble to counteract that Tempest, but you got to keep that Boris not only outside of the Elemental Void, but close enough so that it's able to get that off within a reasonable amount of time. Dropping a Ward of Revelation here to block the Ancient Camp. This is something that I like to see, managing your opponent's resources. I like that quite a bit. Call It Karma knows that they're quite a bit ahead of their opponents. 14,000 gold and 10,000 experience. Actually, Tremble's going to be in some trouble. The Hellflower is applied. Will they be able to finish him off? And that's why you get the Hellflower. The Shrunken Head would have saved him if he'd been able to activate it, but the Hellflower, of course, with the 20% additional damage taken and the Perplex right there, not able to get that Shrunken Head off, and down goes the Tremble. This is going to be a free tower for them in the middle lane, because Tremble doesn't have a buyback, and I doubt that the Legion team is going to want to initiate on this one, knowing how hard they've had, how hard a time they've had getting team fights to happen, even with Tremble in them. Offensive Storm's Cloud being applied to the opposing team, reducing the armor on some of these players pretty damned low. Negative armor here for Plague Rider with 3 seconds left. Not going to choose to initiate during the duration of that, though. And they're going to back on off for the time being. Tremble up in 10 seconds. So if the Legion team wants to engage, that's when they would be wise to. Hellhound's going to make their way out, doing a little bit of scouting. They aren't invisible, of course. And it looks like TP is going to be coming out as Wretched Hag is going to make her way into the bottom lane. Already we see Tempest in the top lane. Geometry's Bane is finished up on Moon Queen. So chooses to go that route. Yeah, choosing to go that route instead of the Shrunken Head. And it's not necessarily a bad one. She'll be able to break herself out of the Boros route. She'll be able to get rid of the slows from from Glacius and from Plague Rider. So, of course, will be useful for pushing, and the increased damage movement speed associated with that one as well, with the good stats. So not a bad decision by any means, but I think I would have liked to have seen the Shrunken Head being able to make herself immune to the damage coming out from Glacius and from Plague Rider, and the majority of the damage coming out from Pebbles, saving herself from combos, etc. I think I would have liked that one a little bit more, but nothing wrong with that Geometer's Bane either. Warbeast is going to be finishing up his Shrunken Head relatively soon. He's about 400 gold away from it for the time being. Wretched Hag picks up a Frost Brand, so going to be making her way toward that Frostwolf Skull. I'm interested to see when the Light Brand comes into this game, whether or not that will actually be an item that's used by a lot of these heroes. The Light Brand being formed into the Dawnbringer as well. Actually, a combo going to come out onto a Luna right there. She might be in a little bit of trouble. They're actually going to turn it around. Telemental Void going to be coming out from Tempest right there with the Moon Finale activated. Down goes Pebbles as well as Plague Rider without being able to get that ultimate off. Now the Hellborn team says, this is our time to strike. We're going in. We're going deep. Plague Rider can buy back. Level 10 will only have that level 1 ultimate. Pebbles buys back as well, and hoping that they only need to use one buyback to deter the Hellborn team, but nope. Both buybacks come in, and we'll see if the Hellborn team has spotted this. With the amount of backing that they're doing, I would expect Stalagmites in the truck going to be coming out, but Pebbles in some trouble. Once again, going to be turned around all right here. The Plague is in there, bouncing a lot to Metashaman's in a lot of trouble, but he will be going down. No, they're going to turn it around with the Warbeast, and looks like Legion is actually going to be forced back right here. Tremble's in the middle of things, trying to get everything done, but no. GG well playeds are coming out. The call to concede is put up, and it looks like Call It Karma is going to be able to take this one home. Look at the glaives from Moon Queen just bouncing around, doing so much work. And Call It Karma, I mean, they looked absolutely dominant in this game. They've had an advantage for quite some time in this one, and we'll see when the vote to concede actually passes here, or if they're going to be forced to throne it or something. But Call It Karma, they lost to FAQ Curdy yesterday, but they certainly look strong today. I do believe that they will be moving on. This should be a Diamond qualifying match. With the win here, they should be qualified for Diamond, as they can only take fourth. Fourth is going to be the worst that they can do, as they will be advancing into the losers bracket finals match, which I'm not sure who's going to be playing in that one. I know DMSN is in that, and I think it's Big Boys. Sam's Big Boys, I think, is the name of the other team that's playing in that one. But one of those teams, of course, will be advancing into Diamond as well, to replace Experience Gaming, Loda's crew that did not show up for HoN Tour, so they're not going to be playing in it. Pencils, of course, dropped out, as well as Vitriolic Gaming, and Fit, aka Better Looking Than You, did, of course, disband immediately prior to HoN Tour Cycle 1 taking place. So they're going to be dropping out of Diamond to be replaced by these teams. We do have, of course, Call It Karma and Facu that are going to be in there. And I think, I want to say Frenchies was up there as well, that they're going to be placing in, but I'm not entirely sure on that one either. You can see the vote to concede keeps being put up and declined here by the Legion team. They're so far behind. It's obvious that some of these players want to give up and just get out of here, that they know that this game is pretty much over, and others want to keep playing. Obviously, frustrations mounting and tensions riding high over there for the Team Please team. But they're going to choose to play it out for the time being. Shrunken Head is finished up here for Warbeast, as well as a Soul's Bulwark being picked up by Tremble. So that'll be very useful. The physical damage coming out from Warbeast and Tremble will make very good use of that -5 armor. -4 armor? Yeah, they changed that quite some time ago. Hellborn turns their attention toward the bottom lane down here. This is where they're going to try to finish it off. Another vote to concede comes up, and will it pass? Who knows? Doesn't really matter at this point, as the Hellborn's going to say, well, if you're not going to finish it, we'll finish it for you. They want to take down this tower, and this will be the last outer tower remaining for the Legion team. And with it killed, map control is completely in the favor of the Hellborn team, who still has 5 out of their 6 remaining outer towers. The only tower that was killed was, in fact, this one here, the outermost tower in the bottom lane. Hellborn, they want to make sure not to throw. I can tell you right now, they're probably giddy with excitement over there on the team, saying that they're going to be going to the big leagues, going to be making their way into Diamond. They want to make sure that they do not throw it all away in some kind of ridiculously stupid accident. And so they're playing it safe. They're waiting for Kongor to respawn. They want to get that token before they go pushing into the base. And I don't necessarily blame them. Playing it safe, of course, is the way to do it. If you don't want to throw, and there's a lot of teams that play it safe, isn't always necessarily the most fun for us as the observer to watch that while they are, in fact, just getting their farm on and posturing around. But I understand why they're doing it for sure. Rift Shards is actually picked up here on Moon Queen, so that's a little bit interesting. Level 3 Rift Shards. Moon Queen now hitting quite hard at 250 attack, and with that damage multiplier, going to be critting for probably in the 500-600 damage range, something like that. I'm not quite sure. I'm bad at math. Luna picks up a Storm Spirit as well. That'll be very nice for her to use, combat a lot of things. Actually, Pebble's going to be going in there, tries to land a combination onto Moon Queen, but the Tablet of Command there being used by Demented Shaman does in fact save him. So of course Tablet being picked up in addition to a Soul's Bulwark on offensive here for the Demented Shaman. Level 4 Rift Shards being finished as well. And Tempest picks up a Bound Eye, so going to be using that to do a little bit of counter warding. And with 3,000 gold left, he's going to be able to finish up any item that he wants relatively soon here. Moon Queen picks up those Rift Shards. Hag's going to be finishing up her Frostwolf Skull. As soon as Kongor is dead, she'll have enough money. She needs 1,900 to finish that one up, 1,200 for the glowstone, and 700 for the recipe. So I think that she should have enough after Kongor. She needs to get the last hit, actually. Otherwise, she'll have to actually sell something. Yeah, she's going to be 50 gold off at this point. Tempest picks up the all-important Homecoming Stone. He's pushed out way out here for the time being. The rest of his team going to join up as they do, in fact, set their sights toward this bottom tower. Tremble Soul's Bulwark might not be enough if he gets initiated on right here. But no, the Hellborn team is not there in time. Of course, our Shrunken Head's available on 2 out of the 5 heroes here for the Legion team. Geometer's Bane being activated. Actually, Tempest going to come in with the Elemental Void available activates the shrunken head, but she's just back off. Oh, in the back though. Chakti gonna go down. Pebbles is in some trouble. The Plagu gonna be out and bouncing around, but they just don't even seem to care. Bounces between Moon Queen, between Hag and Demented Shaman, and doesn't even matter. Quan Kill gonna be coming out for Alme right there. Down goes the melee racks. You can see the glaives just bouncing over here, making their way all the way to the defensive tower. GG, well played, and the vote to concede. So Call It Karma takes this series 2-1. Guys, they're going to be making their way into the Diamond Division, so expect to see big things out of these guys as they will be playing in Cycle 2. That's going to be starting not this upcoming Saturday, but the Saturday after. I believe that's 10 days from now. So they're going to be making their way into that one. The big leagues for Call It Karma, and they showed it right here. They played very, very well, losing to Facu Curta yesterday, but they made up for it here. So nice job to the guys over there of Call It Karma. All right. Well, that is going to do it for the coverage today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and get this one updated and turn off this title. Oh, actually, Call It Karma advances to Diamond. Yay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Complexity Casting with me, your casting host, Beef. Big shout out to Complexity Gaming and S2 for allowing us to actually cover the HoN Tour matches. Of course, for some of you that are wondering, HoN Tour, and they talked to me about covering some of these matches during the week, some of these gold matches, and of course the matches during the weekend as well. So that's what I've been doing. Complexity Casting is not just for casting Complexity games, although anytime that Complexity is playing, you will see it right here, as long as HoNcast is not covering it. Otherwise, though, I should be covering it here on twitch.tv/ComplexityHoN. But guys, huge shout-outs to both those organizations. Complexity Gaming, you can check them out over at complexitygaming.com, on Facebook at Complexity Gaming, and Twitter at Complexity Live, so make sure to check that out. And you can actually use the info section directly below the video here on Twitch TV, and there's links easily available for you for the VODs, which are up now at youtube.com/PeterPandem and youtube.com/BeefPotPie1. Going to be split up by scrims. Those are over on Peter's, and at mine at BeefPotPie1 for all HoN Tour matches, and those are easily accessible below as well. And while you're at it, you can follow me on Twitter at BeefPotPie1 and on YouTube at BeefPotPie1 as well for all of your Complexity casting needs. Guys, that's going to be it. Huge shout out to Complexity sponsors, QPad, PNY, Sound Blaster, Origin Creative. That's it. We are out of here, guys. I hope that you enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow casting either more gold or hopefully some scrims. I'm going to try to be able to run down some scrims and figure out something, because I am dying without some scrims, but Complexity hasn't been playing this week, so we'll try to get that one figured out. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm out. We'll catch you next time.